In the early 1500s, the Boleyn family bought Hever Castle and added a Tudor dwelling within the walls, and so it became the childhood home of its most famous inhabitant, Anne Boleyn. There have been three main periods in the construction of this historic castle. The oldest part of the castle dates to 1270 and consisted on the gatehouse and walled bailey. The gatehouse is one of the oldest parts of the castle and would originally have had several defence mechanisms, such as portcullis, moat and drawbridge, some of which are still visible. The castle has an homely atmosphere and has historic 16th century Tudor portraits, furniture and tapestries. Other artefacts include two magnificent books of hours, which were prayer books, both signed and inscribed by Anne Boleyn. Costume figures of Henry VIII and his 6 wives in the long gallery adds to the atmosphere and is popular with the children. The council chamber is the 13th century gatehouse, contains collections of historic armour, instruments of execution, torture and discipline. William Woodruff Astor planted the maze at Hever Castle in 1906. The maze measures 80 feet by 80 feet. The yew hedges reach 8 feet in height, and there is almost a quarter of a mile of pathways inside, and is one of the only few traditionally designed mazes in the country. The spectacular gardens at Hever Castle were laid out between 1904 and 1908 by Joseph Chill and Son, turning marshland into the spectacular gardens you see today. One of the most magnificent areas of the garden is the Italian garden, which was designed to display William Woodruff Astor's collection of Italian sculpture. Over 1,000 men worked on the great design. Within the 4 years, the 30 acres of classical and natural landscapes were constructed and planted. The garden is only now reaching its full maturity and includes the colourful walled rose garden, which contains over 3,000 plants. From 1557 onwards, the castle was owned by a number of families, including the Waldegraves, the Humphreys and the Meade-Walders. Finally, in 1903, William Woodruff Astor invested time, money and imagination in restoring the castle, building the Tudor village and creating the gardens and lake. The lake is 35 acres in area and varies in depth from 3 feet to 10 feet and supports a variety of fish and bird life. The lake was made around the early 1900s with about 800 men digging it out, taking 2 years to do so. There are many water features around the garden, including Half Moon Pond, the Cascade Rockery, the cool and shady grottos, the informal Loggia Fountain based on the Trevi Fountain in Rome, and the more informal Two Sisters Pond. The loggia at the eastern lake end of the Italian garden is flanked by pillared colonnades and descends by steps to the piazza, leading to the magnificent fountain on the piazza. The nymphs were with the 2 supporting female figures carved in white pentalic marble. Along the southern wall of the Italian garden, a massive pergola supports trained by crabapple, vines bearing grapes, roses, honeysuckle and other climbing varieties. The walled rose garden was originally conceived as a winter garden, and the conservatory was built inside the walls. The area is now setting for 3,000 roses which flourish from June until the end of September. The predominant colour in the small garden behind the rose garden, whatever the season, is blue. The plants are concentrated around huge rocks brought from the Chiddingstone Causeway. Situated on a 16-acre island, the water maze consists of a series of concentric stepping-stone walkways sitting over water, and at intervals the stones tilt when stood on, and hidden water jets spring into action to soak the unwary visitor. The aim is to reach the stone grotto in the centre without getting wet. Few are successful, although it is great fun and challenges young and old alike. We hope you've enjoyed our short tour of Hever Castle and gardens for now. It's goodbye from Daphne and from me, Katie Mills.